My name is Ariel. I'm an English literature student, and this is my story. I want to share my journey learning English in London. It's a warm summer day, and I'm on a train. Two women sit across from me. They speak English, but I understand little. I'm just starting to learn the language. I don't know many words, but I try. I speak to them in basic English. They understand me, and that makes me feel happy. I tell them I want to learn more English. They say they're from England. We talk for about 10 minutes. When the train stops, I say goodbye. Before leaving, they give me their address and number. They tell me I can visit them in England. That moment motivates me. I begin studying every day. I translate texts and watch English movies. After 6 months, my English improves a lot. Still, I want more, so I go to London to study. On Monday, I start school. I meet my teacher and classmates. My teacher is kind and humble. She starts class by asking about our knowledge of English and our goals. She shares a special method, no textbooks, just using English in everyday life. I love this. Textbooks confuse me, but this method helps. She says language exists for communication. It lets us share thoughts and feelings. So we'll speak English often. That's our goal in this class. Many learners study grammar but don't use the language. Our teacher says using English is more important than just studying rules and memorizing vocabulary. Vocabulary and grammar matter, but practice is key. She shows us a simple way to learn both. I enjoy this. It feels natural and useful. In class, we talk about hobbies. We work in pairs or speak to her. I like this system. It helps me a lot with confidence. The next day, a student asks how to learn new words. The teacher says, reading is the most effective way to build vocabulary naturally. People who read learn words twice as fast. She suggests reading 30 minutes a day. Choose texts that are interesting and match your current level. When you see unknown words, look them up in a dictionary. Understanding increases this way. You don't even need to write the words down. If you enjoy what you read, new words will stick in your mind. Reading also teaches how words connect in a sentence and how they work together. That helps you use words correctly. We keep learning. We discuss jobs for students. I want a part-time job. Other students suggest a job center. After school, I visit one. A lady offers options like cafe work or cleaning. I say I have no experience in these types of jobs. She says my English is good enough for a cafe, the training is easy, and I'll get to speak more English while working with customers. I feel excited to start work on Thursday. It's my chance to practice English every day. I feel more confident and ready to improve. On Wednesday, I return to school. One student is quieter than the others. He's from South Korea and rarely speaks during class discussions. When our teacher asks for questions, he says he struggles with pronunciation. He understands English well, but avoids speaking because he feels embarrassed. He wants to improve, but doesn't know how. Our teacher listens carefully, then offers advice on how to train pronunciation using a simple method. She explains that speaking uses mouth muscles. Many students use these muscles like in their native language, which causes incorrect English pronunciation naturally. She says this happens to everyone, and it's not a big problem. Most people will still understand even if pronunciation isn't perfect every time. But she also introduces a method that can help a lot. It's called shadowing. This technique helps you copy how native speakers sound. Shadowing means listening to something and repeating it immediately, like how children copy their parents when learning their first language by repeating daily speech. She tells us to find slow, clear recordings, then listen and repeat what you hear right after. This is how shadowing works in practice. She goes on YouTube and finds videos about shadowing. We all watch together. Then we try it for 3 minutes and repeat what we hear. It's fun and surprisingly effective. Shadowing is also helpful when preparing for presentations or speaking in public with better pronunciation and natural rhythm. You can practice alone before a speech. 10 minutes of shadowing can help you sound more confident and clear during your presentation or job interview. This idea was new to me, but very interesting. After class, I go to the school office and ask about sports activities available at school. The lady at the desk says they have football and table tennis teams. The football team has training today at 500 in the afternoon. I'm excited because I love sports. I join the training and meet players from Brazil, Japan, Russia, Spain, Argentina, and Italy. Everyone is very friendly. I enjoy playing and making new friends. My time in England starts well. I have a great teacher and now new friends through sports too. Tomorrow, I'll begin my new job. I'm nervous but ready. I know it will help me improve my English by speaking with real customers every day. On Thursday, I go to school again. There's a new student named Elizabeth from Italy. The teacher asks her some questions at the start. She remembers Elizabeth from a short summer course 1 year ago. When Elizabeth speaks, her English is fluent and her pronunciation is excellent. Our teacher is impressed and says her school in Italy must be great. But Elizabeth says she doesn't go to school. She studies English at home. She uses reading, shadowing, and a technique called thinking aloud. She says she tries to think in English more than in her native Italian. That's how she improves. She says the 2 weeks in our teacher's class helped her a lot. It gave her direction and motivation. Now she wants to join the class again to continue learning. The teacher praises her effort. I'm very curious about the thinking aloud method. I asked the teacher what thinking aloud is. She says it's a simple but powerful way to practice. You speak your thoughts out loud. It may feel strange, but it trains your brain to think and speak in English. You get used to forming ideas in the new language. The teacher says it's normal to think in your native language all day. But now we should start thinking in English instead. And once we start thinking in English, we can speak those thoughts out loud. That's how thinking aloud works, step by step. She asked Elizabeth to share more about her experience. Elizabeth agrees. She says it wasn't easy at first. She started with simple phrases like, I can speak English. It is good I can speak. I want to be better. I need practice. These small steps helped her improve. She said her thoughts in Italian were complicated, but English forced her to simplify. Over time, thinking in English became natural and automatic. Then something unexpected happened. She met a tourist from Australia. They spoke English. Her sentences were short, but she communicated easily without translating. This success made her use thinking aloud more often. It helped her speaking become smoother. She now uses it every day to stay fluent. The teacher thanks her for sharing. I feel inspired. I want to try it too. I don't care if it feels silly if it works. I'll do it. When you want to speak English fluently, think aloud. It's not about perfection. It's about building confidence and making English a part of your life. Part 2 begins. I hope you're feeling well. If you haven't watched Part 1, go to my channel and watch it first to understand. My name is Ariel. I study English. I want to tell you about my life in London and my amazing teacher who changed my learning. After school, I go to the cafe for job training. I'm nervous because I have no experience and I don't know what to expect. But I'm surprised. The cafe is modern, serving coffee, tea, chocolate cakes, and sandwiches. My boss is only 25 but knows everything well. She shows me how to prepare coffee, clean dishes, and serve customers. It's all new to me. I remember only some instructions at first, but she lets me try things. When I make mistakes, she gently corrects me. She's friendly, and I learn quickly by doing the work. After my first workday, I'm tired but happy. The next day is Friday. At school, a student asks what to do about grammar mistakes. She says she wants to speak correctly but isn't sure how. Our teacher thanks her for the question and gives a detailed answer. There are two kinds of students, those who learn English to speak and those who need it to pass exams. Each group needs different strategies. If you want to speak well, you don't need to study grammar deeply. Like native speakers, you learn grammar naturally by using the language. Reading helps a lot. Books have good grammar. You learn grammar in full sentences, not isolated rules. Shadowing also helps practice correct grammar naturally. When you shadow, you copy sentences with correct grammar. You don't memorize rules, you use them by speaking. This helps your brain learn better. If you also want to study grammar, visit Grammar in Levels.com. It shows grammar rules based on your English level and gives examples with explanations. For students who want to pass exams, she recommends practicing with past test papers. Try to understand the format and prepare for real conditions. Do the test only when your practice results are good enough to pass. This way, you know when you're ready for the real exam. The student smiles. She says she just wants to speak well, not pass any exam. She's happy to know she doesn't need to study grammar too much. After class, I visit GrammarInLevels.com. It's a great site with rules and examples. They organize grammar into levels of 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 words. That afternoon, I go to work again. It's only my second day, but I already do many tasks alone. My boss still helps if needed. I enjoy the job, it's not too hard, and I speak English with customers. That's the best part. It helps me practice real conversations every day. On Monday, I go to school again. Our teacher asks what we did during the weekend. I say I worked at the cafe on Saturday. I tell them I feel happy speaking with customers. One girl notices my voice sounds different and says my pronunciation has improved since last week. I smile and say thank you. I explain that I practice shadowing on Saturday evening and all day Sunday. I tried to sound like natives. I know I'm not perfect, but I notice big improvement. The teacher asks if others tried shadowing. 3 students raise their hands, including the Korean boy. One student says she tried, but her mouth hurt after 5 minutes. She also found the audio too fast to repeat completely and stopped practicing. The teacher thanks her for trying. She says if your mouth hurts after 5 minutes, that means you're doing it right. It's like working out muscles. Like the gym, if your mouth muscles hurt, take a break and continue later. With time, your muscles adjust and your pronunciation becomes smoother. Shadowing also improves rhythm, intonation, and linking words and sentences. If the audio is too fast, just repeat the first or last word for now. With practice, you'll repeat more. I agree. On Saturday, it was hard, but by Sunday night I could repeat more and felt more confident. Then I asked the teacher how to know our English level. I visited GrammarInLevels.com, but I don't know how many words I understand exactly. The teacher asked the class if they know how many English words they understand. No one knows the answer. She shares a useful tool with us. She tells us about test languages. There, we can test our vocabulary. The test has 2 steps and is very simple. We can do it monthly. We all take out our phones and try it. I take the test and find out I know 100 English words. Most classmates score 2,000 to 200. Only Monica and the Korean student score 200. The teacher says if we know over 2,000 words, we can use grammar from level 3 on the site. She says level 3 is made for students with 3,000 words. I now know where I stand. The test motivates me to keep going forward. On Tuesday, I return to school. One student asks a question. She says she wants to speak English with people, but she's afraid of mistakes. She doesn't want to look stupid or say something wrong. Our teacher smiles and says this is a common problem. Many students feel the same. She shares her belief. She says she also learns languages. Right now, she's learning Spanish, and she doesn't care if she makes mistakes. When she learned her native language, mistakes didn't matter. The main goal was to express ideas. That's all. Communication, not perfection, is what truly matters. She says if we read, speak, and do shadowing, our skills will improve naturally. Sounds simple, but experience shows it works for most learners. When she speaks Spanish, she focuses on expressing her thoughts. She knows she makes mistakes, but continues anyway. That's how fluency grows over time. She knows about 500 words in Spanish just like a 2-year-old child. And, like children, she believes we should keep speaking and learning without fear. 2-year-olds make many mistakes, but they don't stop. By age 4, they speak clearly. We can learn English the same way with time and practice. Most of us know around 2,000 words. It's okay to make mistakes. The key is to continue speaking. Mistakes will slowly go away as we improve. We can't reach higher levels without mistakes. Perfection is not the goal. Growth happens when we speak. Try, fail, and try again with confidence. Learning a language is like learning music. You make mistakes at first, but practice makes progress. That's the process every learner must go through. If you never make mistakes, you'll never move forward. Each mistake is a step toward fluency. Speak anyway. Learn through doing. That's how to improve. To make fewer mistakes, read a lot. Shadow often. When you read, try reading aloud. It helps you get used to correct forms in speech. Focus on sharing your ideas. Don't worry about being perfect. Real conversations are about connection, not grammar. People will understand what you mean. Even famous people make mistakes. Politicians, CEOs, and public speakers all make small errors. But they don't stop speaking. They focus on their message. We should do the same. Use English to express ideas. Don't be afraid. Your voice matters. Mistakes are temporary. Growth lasts forever. The girl says thank you. She smiles and seems more relaxed. The rest of us also feel encouraged. Mistakes are part of the learning journey. The teacher reminds us again, if you want to reduce mistakes, keep reading and shadowing daily. These habits improve fluency and accuracy over time. She says when you speak, focus on exchanging ideas. Don't stop to think about rules. Grammar and vocabulary can be learned through other activities. Speaking is for using what you already know. It's about turning thoughts into words quickly. Practice makes this faster and easier with time. She says everyone makes mistakes while learning a language. Even advanced speakers slip. It's not a problem unless it stops you from speaking at all. She mentions that some of the most powerful people in the world make grammar mistakes in public. They don't apologize. They just keep communicating. That's the real lesson. What you say matters more than how perfect it sounds. If people understand you, then your English is working. So, speak, make mistakes, learn from them, keep growing. You don't need to wait until you're perfect to start using English every day. Moral: if you don't want to make mistakes, do more reading and shadowing. That's how to improve over time and become confident in speaking. Final advice to improve your English: read, listen, think, and speak for 30 minutes each. That's 2 hours of learning that will transform your fluency. Use a variety of materials. Try books, podcasts, videos, and daily reflections. Be consistent. Progress comes from daily effort, not from one big step. When you make English a part of your life, everything changes. You'll understand more, speak better, and feel proud of every new word you use. This is my journey. I started with basic English, afraid to speak. Now I talk with confidence. You can do it too. Start today. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it gives you the courage to keep going. Learn English with love, patience, and daily action. You are stronger than you think, and your voice in English deserves to be heard. Just keep going, one word, one sentence, one story at a time.